Hello, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Antonio Alanis, and today we're going to talk about some ways of pricing your art when applying to galleries and submitting your work as a beginner artist. So, if you're a beginning artist and you are unsure on how to price your work because there are so many things out there, or maybe not as many things as we would like, you're not alone. In this video, I will tell you my experience on how I have used um, talking with others and learning more about my work as an artist to set a price for charging when submitting my paintings to a gallery. Really to give you some more tips on navigating gallery commissions to ensure that your work is being valued. A little bit of background. This episode is part of a series called the 12 Steps to Exhibiting Your Work in Galleries as a Beginner Artist. And it is my pleasure to continue with this episode to talk about pricing your work. So, in this episode, we're going to talk more about how I have used and priced my work in the past a decade or so. I think what I want to talk about today is why it's been such a difficult part of me applying to galleries. One, because when I was applying to these opportunities in the very beginning, I was still battling a lot with the mindset of, is my work valuable? Where do I stand as an artist? Is society still, or is it not, continue to value my work as an artist, my creativity? And I was still a lot with that baggage and limiting beliefs that I had from growing up and the starving artist mindset that I continued to carry on when I was starting to exhibit. Those things really held me back. They held me back, and I remember even thinking, I cannot charge $100 for this painting. Who's going to pay for it? Who's going to do this? Who is going to write a check or submit a bank transfer for this amount of money so that I can continue to be an artist? That to me was absolutely not happening. And I'm glad I didn't listen to myself because I was wrong. And I'm glad that I was wrong, that the more experience that I gained, the more I began to work and be in this world, the more I began to open up to the possibility, open up my eyes, and be with people who were looking for things to make their house beautiful, to make their buildings beautiful, to make wherever they were or wherever they are living beautiful. And I'm glad that they showed me that it was possible. My biggest tip was thinking about addressing those limiting beliefs that I alluded to in the very first video. So if you have not watched the first video, I talked a lot about overcoming imposter syndrome, so please go check that out. And like I was saying, I'm glad I didn't listen to myself, and I'm glad I continued to be persistent. I continued to work. I continued to believe in myself, despite the little voice in the back of my head saying you can't do it or you can't make it, anything like that. I'm glad I did not listen. I think that's the beauty of why it's important to talk about these limiting beliefs when charging for galleries, or even telling people this gallery is worth $1,000. Excuse me, not the gallery. This piece or this painting is worth $1,000, and the gallery will get $600. My very first painting that I sold was for $100 at an exhibition in North Carolina, and I ended up getting about, I want to say, $60 or maybe 70. I forget if the gallery event charged 10% or no percent. But it was very eye-opening for me that there was someone out there looking to buy my work. I was super excited. Let's address these limiting beliefs and think about the things that can happen. Why are we here? I think I just gave you a little bit of my life story, but I don't want to stop there. I want to give you more of my research, what has helped me to sell paintings and to sell opportunities. The biggest thing I would tell you is to research the market. And I talked a lot about this in the very first video, which was an introduction to the whole series. Please watch that too. It's an hour long. My biggest thing would be to research the market. And what does that even look like? If you have a chance, go to your nearest gallery and see what other artists are charging for their pieces. And pay attention to the type of medium, the type of size, the type of style, so they can inform you on the things that are selling. I'm just so amazed at how this has happened. I've been able to look at trends, and I've seen that those kinds of paintings that I'm not making, but other people are making in my area, they're selling for X amount of dollars. That could give you some idea about how much someone is looking to pay for that. I'm not saying they will likely buy your work, but it can give you an idea. Hey, if they're paying this artist this amount of money, more than likely there is a market or a group of people who can pay the same amount or even more, who knows, based on the style, size, or even topic that you're painting. Research the market. I would start locally. Go to your nearest art gallery. You will see that many galleries have events to bring people, whether it's online, more than likely in person. But you will see that many of these galleries will have paintings or 2D work hanged on a wall. And these paintings will have a very small label, usually with the name of the piece and a description. When you see this label, you will usually see, if they're sold, you will see a sticker, whether it's any color. Honestly, I think it's up to the gallery to decide what a color means. But it will give you an idea when something sells. In my case, I've been to galleries where they have used the red sticker, and the red sticker has said or told people it's been sold. That again, it can give you an idea. Now, I won't say that things will sell the first opening night. I would still go to the opening night and see what people are doing. And I would even go back 2 weeks later or a month later to the same gallery and observe if other galleries or other artists have sold their work. And I think that's a good opportunity for you to research the market and see trends as what has happened. It's a great opportunity. Research the market, give yourself a couple of hours here and there to go and visit. That would be my first. How much do you charge? My second point would be considering the factors that influence your pricing. This would be size and medium. As an artist who works in acrylic primarily, I would take into account how much does it cost to make the piece? How much does it cost to make a painting? How much money are you needing to buy in paint, in canvas, in brushes, in all the things that you need overhead? Overhead meaning indirect cost or things associated with a piece that you still need to have to do it. For example, rent, electricity, internet, Zoom, any other platform that you may need to have meetings with clients. All these things are really what are important to keep in mind. How much does it cost? What is the overall cost to create the piece? It's not just the canvas itself or the paint, but really all the things associated. And also, let's not forget your hours. What is your hourly rate? How much money would it take to produce something in an hour, in a few hours, and a flat fee? That would be one thing. Another thing too is pick a bill that you have. For example, how much does it cost for you to have internet a month when you are meeting with clients? That would be maybe $50 or $60, $100. I don't know where you are or where you live. So that could be a painting, paying that. That could be $100 painting. It would pay the electricity bill or internet bill for that month. So think in terms of how much it's the real cost to produce that piece. Now, if you're having trouble exactly how much does it cost, what I would recommend is sitting and making a list of all the things that you need every day that you're creating an art piece, from sketchbooks to pencils to platforms to your computer to cell phone bills, anything like that. Think about all the things that you have to produce a painting. And then from then on, you can decide, okay, a month you pay about $100 per cell phone bill. Maybe that could be a percentage. Maybe you want a piece to pay a percentage of that cell phone bill, and so forth. It's a way for you to think about how much to charge based on the things that you need to have to produce a painting. Do not forget to always pay yourself. Always pay yourself. You can do whatever you want, but one of my biggest things that I do is never to work for pennies. I never do that. I want to make sure that my work is valued and that the work that I produce continues to grow as well. So always pay yourself, never forget yourself, and also pay for your time. Pay for the custom materials and the size and the medium as well. When you decide how much to charge for a painting, I usually have had a range. And this goes back more to client-artist relationship than I would do a gallery-artist relationship. When I work with people, I usually provide a range and say, this is a startup, or this is what I would charge in the minimum and what I would charge in the maximum. And also, if people can't pay X amount of money for that time, I can work with their budget as well. So it's really case-to-case basis. That would be my biggest things. And when communicating in price, is be confident in it. If you know that you need $500 to produce one painting, be confident in it that you are charging more than $500 to make a profit, if that's what you want, and be confident that you are really paying all that amount of money so that you can produce that piece. So feel confident. Don't feel that you are overcharging. If people feel that you're overcharging them, they're not the right customer for you. More often than not, you will find people that will not buy your work. In my experience, I have had many people that have not bought my work, but it has opened up to so many opportunities down the line where they can buy work from me or even commission things that I don't even have produced right now. Do not limit yourself. So when you communicate your price, be very confident with the potential buyer. Now, galleries that I have worked with, I have not had any negotiations. They have been very accepting. All of them have been very accepting and said, okay, you charge X amount of dollars for this submission. That's good. Well, I will not contest it. That's fine. But I have seen and I have talked to gallery owners and other people working in the gallery that sometimes artists charge a lot more than they need to charge, up in the $5,000, $10,000. And I have heard from people telling me more about other people's work in a way that's not what the market is supporting, meaning that they're charging too much. And then more than likely, no one will buy their work. So that would be my biggest second tip in this video, is to talk to other people in a genuine way, inquire, ask them, what's the typical price, or what's something that I would normally price this piece. And they will tell you, if they're open, about how much is too much or how little is too little. Prices over time can change. My paintings have increased in value since I created them over the years. So update your price would be one of my biggest things. I think it's a good thing to update your price if more and more people are buying your work. meaning there is a demand. If you see that more and more buyers are buying your work and you raise it up 10%, people are still buying your work. Raise it 10%, people are still buying your work. Raise it 10% and go like that until nobody else is buying work or your work, and that could be a good sign. So I'm not telling you a magical formula. I'm telling you to test all the time. See how much people are buying, how much people are buying, how much people are buying. And whenever they stop buying, that's when you need to hold it and continue pricing the same until maybe you continue to grow and then more people are buying more things from you. It's a game. It's a game of timing. It's a game of your network. It's a game of so many things. Do not be afraid to update your price over time. Again, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to grow and for you to continue. So with that being said, I want to thank you for staying in this 10th episode of the 12 steps to exhibiting your work in galleries as a beginner artist. I would love to invite you to the previous video that I just created called Understanding Gallery Fees, which goes very much side to side with this one. And also would like to invite you to the next upcoming video called Preparing Submissions and Applications when submitting to a gallery, and pretty much putting everything together when we are submitting things. My name is Antonio Alanis, and it's my pleasure to tell you more about my life and documenting my work as an artist. I would love to invite you all to my website, AntonioAlanisArt.com. Thank you so much for staying tuned, and I will see you next time.